We have 12 weeks before the NBA playoffs. Let's rank some teams. Welcome back to the Green Beans Go channel. It's your host, me, and if you can't tell by my voice, I did have influenza A, and I'm still recovering a little bit. My daughter is still sick, so we have been down bad, as the kids say. And that's why it's been a little bit since I've released a video on YouTube, but I'm glad to be back with this new special. If you've been following my channel, you know I do NFL weekly ranking videos, but the NFL is drawing to a close, and I thought let's pivot and do NBA until the playoffs start. So every Tuesday for the next 12 weeks, I will be bringing you a tier list of NBA rankings. So make sure you hit subscribe if you don't want to miss a video. A new tier list means new rankings, and at the top we have Larry O'Brien bound teams I think will have a good shot at making the finals. Next up we have solid playoff team. The middle category is play-in. Remember, these are teams that end the year in the 7 to 10 spot. In the 4th spot, we have No Man's Land, and at the bottom, we have Ping Pong Ball Simulator. We'll start with the Atlanta Hawks, who are 4-6 in their last 10. Trae Young is in concussion protocol, and they're just on the edge of the play-in right now. However, I think the Nets or the Raptors have a good chance to pass this team up, so I'm going to put the Hawks in No Man's Land. The Nets are 2-8 in their last 10. However, I like them a little bit more than the Hawks, but not by much, so I'm actually going to throw them in the same category. The Celtics sit at the top of the East with a record of 34-10, and I do see signs of weakness with this team, but I think if they can stay healthy and they're at full strength when it comes playoff time, I mean, it's always their chance. They always are sitting right there, and they never get it done. I don't know. Maybe it's their year. The Hornets just traded away Terry Rozier as of this morning, and if that doesn't scream Ping Pong Ball Simulator, I don't know what does. You really think Kyle Lowry's going to save you? I think the Bulls fit in the play-in category. I know Zach LaVine just went down with an injury, which does hurt the Bulls' chances, but I think he should only miss a few weeks, and I like the Bulls' defense, so we'll say play-in for the Bulls. Is it wrong to say that the Cavs are a quiet team in the East? You hear everybody talking about the Celtics, the Bucks, and the Sixers, but the Cavs are rarely mentioned. Again, a team that if they can stay healthy, I think they have a chance to make a solid run in the playoffs. We all know what Luka and Kyrie Irving are capable of, and I just feel like the Dallas Mavericks need a little bit more help. Tim Hardaway just doesn't seem to be producing at the rate maybe they expected him to produce, but they're still staying in games and they're still winning games. Now, the West is a lot tighter than the East, so I think the Dallas Mavericks have a real shot to make a playoff run should they get in, and I think they will get in, but I don't know right now if it's much higher than a play-in spot. The Denver Nuggets are 3rd right now in the West, which may come as a surprise. It seems like they always start off a little slow, but we only have 12 weeks to the playoffs, so they need to pick it up. And I say need to pick it up as a little bit of an exaggeration because they're doing just fine. This is a solid playoff team. This poor Pistons team, you talking about Cade and them? Yeah, that team's not tough. The Warriors are 3-7 in their last 10. If the playoffs started today, they would not be in, which comes as a surprise when you have guys like Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. I know Klay is taking a lot of heat lately for his lack of production. I don't like this team's big men situation. I know this may be blasphemy, but I think the Warriors are in a no man's land spot right now. The Rockets are on the verge of a playoff berth if the season started today, only 2 games back, but again, this is a team that I don't like their depth, a lot of youth, which may set them up for the future, but not right now, no man's land. I think the Pacers' addition of Pascal Siakam is huge. I know that the media has kind of been back and forth on the issue. Tyrese Halliburton is hurt, and should he be back at full strength in the next few weeks and everybody else stays healthy, this is a solid playoff team. The Clippers have James Harden, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and Russell Westbrook, and we're not talking about them. That's bizarre. I mean, that's unheard of. I know these guys are all old, but that's still like they didn't just lose their talent. Call me crazy, and I'll accept crazy right now, but I think the Clippers have a legitimate shot to make a run at the finals this year. I don't love the Lakers, but I also don't count out LeBron after watching him for the last decade and a half, so we'll slot him in the play-in right now. When Ja Morant came back, the Grizzlies got a little bit of life, but now he's out for the season, so Ping Pong Ball Simulator. The Heat's addition of Terry Rozier today is absolutely massive for this team. I think it is a piece that the Heat needed to add, and I didn't even realize it. A guy who can score and a guy who can pass. He fits the tenacity, I think, of what this team's identity is. Watch out for the Heat. Yet again, solid playoff team. The Bucks are a team loaded with talent, but they just fired their head coach about 2 hours ago. I don't know what's going on. It can't be about the production, I wouldn't think. There's got to be something behind the scenes. Not that I want to be a conspiracy guy. I don't see this team making the finals. I could be very wrong, but they've just been so up and down this year. So solid playoff team, yes, but I would slow your roll talking about the Larry O'Brien trophy with this team. Did you know that the Minnesota Timberwolves are at the top of the West right now? Karl Anthony Towns just dropped 62 points last night. They haven't done it in the past, so it makes me nervous to put them up here. I'm going to go ahead and do it. I mean, Rudy Gobert, Anthony Edwards, Karl Anthony Towns, and Mike Conley are tremendous basketball players. So maybe it's the Minnesota Timberwolves year. I think the Pelicans are another team you have to watch out for, a deep team that doesn't get a lot of respect or a lot of conversation outside of Zion Williamson. However, I can see them slipping with an injury or two, so we'll say play-in right now. That may be a little too critical. I believe the Knicks are one of the more balanced teams in the NBA. I know they just traded away RJ Barrett, but I think it's going to end up being a good thing for this team. Give me solid playoff team for the Knicks. Am I crazy for thinking that Oklahoma City could make a run? I mean, Shai is balling out. Josh Giddey and Chet Holmgren are doing their thing. You got Jalen Williams coming into the fold. I mean, at the worst, I think they're a solid playoff team. I just don't love the Magic. Again, another pretty young team. Right now, they would make the playoffs, but I'm going to take a little bit of a risk here, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say this team misses the playoffs, and they fall into no man's land. Everybody hates the Sixers come playoff time. Everybody hates Joel Embiid come playoff time. I've seen the memes. I get it, guys. I understand. But something about this year feels different. But he just dropped 70 last night. Tyrese Maxey's looking strong. I think Tobias Harris, one of my favorite NBA players, is playing his role nicely. Call me crazy, but I think they have a chance. The Suns are another super team, and they have not all been healthy at the same time this whole year. Actually, now they're finally starting to get healthy. This is a solid playoff team. Portland, ping pong, Portland. Sure, the Kings might be able to make a run, but I just think their youth is going to catch up to them. Playing for the Kings. Go get you another first overall pick, San Antonio. My last bold prediction for the week is that the Toronto Raptors make the play-in. They are 2 games back right now. They're in the 12th spot technically. Again, 10 make it. But I like their chances. I like this young Toronto team, and I think the trades, although it seems like they've lost some star power, I think there's a bit of a motivation and more of a chemistry situation we have going on. So give me the Raptors in the play-in. I really like what the Jazz have, but they're just kind of on the cusp of being done. They're right there on that 10th spot right now. But I think they will have enough to get it done, so give me play-in for the Jazz. Kyle Kuzma and Jordan Poole, get your paddles out. Ping pong ball simulator. So there you have it. As we get closer to the playoffs, I'll start to refine this list a little more and actually think logistically about how many teams from the East and West will be able to make it in. But we're too far away right now, so I'm just going to keep this as casual as possible. Remember, if you like this content and you want to see this updated every week, hit that subscribe button. Are you kidding me? We'll see you next week. Or for my next video, who knows?